Hello, everybody. I'm your androgynous AI game journalist from the future. This is the Neoncaster Twitch channel, and I will pass over to my co-host for their intro.
Yes, because is it really? Because good evening, hello. Hope you're all doing well. I'm Loxley, Sailor of Strategy, the Capri Card Shark, the board game goat, and this is the Sailor of Strategy channel. Because we are dual wielding Twitch. I don't know, is that a thing?
Co-streaming, yes.
Yes, co-streaming. I've got to say, the one thing I have been on, I've been streaming on YouTube for a couple of months, and I was thinking the one thing Twitch could do to win me back over was if I go live and I'm getting a better bitrate transfer, like, you know what? Maybe I'll consider it. Not happening. It's not happening.
Not happening to you today, okay.
I apologize for anybody who is getting buffering. I also apologize that Caster exists in a state of precisely 3 pixels.
I mean, I am canonically like 2,000 pixels tall, so really not too much of a difference in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, I think your eyes are blending into your shades.
Yeah, no, that's fine. We love to be a digital horror. It's part of the aesthetic. Compress me, baby.
I
will be bit crushed for you. But yeah, no, it's good to see you. Hello.
Yes, it's an absolute pleasure. Thank you for being involved in Identity Digital. Thank you for having stuck with it. I've been genuinely impressed. We've got 7 rounds.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is how many of 8. So I guess this is 7 of 8, huh?
This is round 7. I think everyone. We may have a bit of weirdness because one of the competitors unfortunately had to step away, and as such, some people are going to have like a full 8 matches. Some people are only going to have 7. This is not going to be a huge problem for me because my ass is last no matter either way. I think the only reason that I'm not last, I'm not going to be last now, is because somebody is not having their full complement of matches.
Yeah, I mean, it stratified out the people who are going to be in the top 3 or so versus everybody else pretty quickly.
Yeah,
so
and I don't think it was.
Like, hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, and I don't think it was super surprising that people who were specifically on the team early in what was Nisei, what is now Null Signals Games, are people who were very good at Netrunner anyway.
Yeah, no, it does shake out that the two top people and the people direct development involvement are in the card game in its current state. Hell's Freeze. They're pretty good at the game.
Who indeed would have thunk?
Yeah, I think Haley is actually my last person to play against. And
well, as
goodness me, I may as well just scoop.
Well, as Sirona pointed out in the background of the Identity Digital, why on earth did I give this contest, this league, the most difficult name to say? Like, I know exactly why, but good lord, that is a tongue twister. But yeah, I did. Sirona managed to beat Hallie in one of their matches, and happily announced that God can bleed, which I found very funny.
But actually, to kind of segue into, we were talking a lot specifically about Netrunner. I don't think, is Netrunner like your main card game? Is that your card game of choice?
Oh, it kind of depends. Like the thing is, what you have to understand is that I have the unerring, like, this has not been tested under scientific conditions. This has not been like done in a lab, but it's happened twice, which is a little bit concerning. But I do have a bit of a tendency to get really into card games, which then immediately have like a real sense of bad luck. So I got into Netrunner within a couple of within like the last couple of years before it suddenly just Fantasy Flight just lost the license. Only just getting back into it now. Kale, swing that hammer.
Oh, farewell, whoever that was. Peace.
No, it's a
Peace.
it's a bot. It's a goddamn bot. And then I got into I still love the game Mythgard, which was
I don't even know that.
I mean, so I got, as you might expect, for somebody who plays a lot of digital card and board games, it is a digital exclusive. So it's really, it's to be honest, it's one of those ones wherein it's the first game in a while that had made me feel the same level of emotion I felt when I first played Netrunner. Really great game. It's kind of like cyberpunk mystical, where the gods have woken up in the cyberpunk future. Ragnarok happened, and so it's only like a bunch of low-level gods, the gods that the gods that hid who were there. But like, there's lots of there's like 6 different factions that you can play as. But the core, most interesting mechanics were you burn cards from your hand, so discard them back into your deck to pay for cards to go onto your board. And also, it's lane-based. So you have 7 lanes, your opponent has 7 lanes. A card can attack the lanes directly opposite and then left and right of those. So really, really nice tactical play. Tactically defensible play is really interesting. I absolutely loved it. And then the company who was running it weren't able to use it as much anymore, weren't able to fund their production anymore. They sold it onto another company. And it is still running, like the server's still up.
Yeah.
They're doing like regular maintenance, but they've not had like the big release in at least a year.
They've not made any new cards or anything like that.
No, exactly. And like as soon as they do, I am straight back on there, because honestly, it's a wonderful game.
I think this is actually a pretty similar issue to Netrunner, and probably one of the reasons why Fantasy Flight put up no resistance in trying to kind of keep their license. And the game is really popular in terms of like a tournament scene, and it being a very tactical, competitive game. But because it was a living card game, and you could just buy whatever new pack came out, and then you would have all the cards, they were running into circumstances where the only way the game became more the game could be lucrative is if they kept releasing new full packs of cards with no randomization, because they decided for it to not be like that. And then it was like a hard stop on how much money any particular release would ever be. And because the space is really competitive, it was very difficult to kind of get new people. It's a weird balance, because like Magic the Gathering does really well, but it's also because they can print so many cards.
Well, they also have like the collectible element of it.
Yes.
Like there's nothing, there's not a rare in Netrunner. There's not like that kind of false economy of, ooh, this card, and like keep it in your back pocket for 7 years. It'll be worth a mint. You're never going to have that with Netrunner, because you can buy the cards. You have 3 of those cards. That is exactly how many cards you need to put it in your deck if you want the maximum number. There isn't like rare. There's not that trading economy.
But I guess this is a long way of saying that works really, really well from our point of view, but it makes it really difficult for them to release new sets of cards. Because the new sets of cards that they're not randomized, and they have to be, especially for Netrunner in particular, really, really finely balanced, because when they're not, even if one card is like out of balance from all the rest in the set, is absolute chaos. And this was true both before and after Null Signal games kind of picked up.
Yeah, absolutely.
I recently played one of Fantasy Flight's other living card games that they're still running, the Arkham Horror series, which is kind of like a It's almost more of a tabletop RPG where you have a custom deck for your character. Really
Yeah.
charming. I actually really like it as a game. But it
I mean,
works really well for that because it's spaced like a board game expansion. They don't need to kind of make it compete against the collectible card game market, so it's doing well for them a bit more. But it would
yeah,
be nice to have this kind of like balance of the two kind of ideas.
yeah. I think the other side of it is one thing I have noticed is that all of the card games that Fantasy Flight have out that are the living card game format are now cooperative. And I think that is probably for the same reason you mentioned, where it's actually quite hard to get people in for a high-level competitive game. But if it's just a case of, hey, here's a deck, we're all working together, let's go and kill a Gribbly in Arkham, or fight a monster in Marvel, then that is good. Superhuman Feuds asked the really good question: what does living card game mean? So
For sure.
in brief, there are kind of two models that are used for card game distribution. The first is CCG, which is short for collectible card game. What that means is you can start with like a starter deck which is fixed. So this is like your Magic the Gathering, for example. Sorry, yes, Kale. Must not, yeah, don't, yeah. You can mock me for using your username. Sorry, Kale. Yeah, basically, you have the Magic the Gathering distribution model where you can buy a fixed starter pack, and then you can buy booster packs, all of which contain random cards. So your access to the cards is kind of based on how much you put into the money you put into the game, how many booster packs you buy, and how much trading you do. Conversely, a living card game is one where you get a box full of cards, and that is all of the cards you need to play. And then a few months down the line, they might release another big box which has another set of cards which add to the game, but it's like you already know what's in that box. You have like enough of in that box to put straight into your deck, yeah, it kind of basically means that you have like these consistent releases, and you're not having to like funnel lots of money into the game. You're just buying like a box. If you want like some other cards from a different box, you just buy that box.
It does lead in on the flip side. Living card games don't operate in an environment where you can buy singles sensibly.
Yes.
If you want a set for like a specific card, I remember when Jackson Howard was like one of the best cards in the game and was only available single data pack, that people didn't like the other cards in. But hey, you gotta have that set of 3 Jackson Howards there.
Yeah, it was. There are pros and cons to both. Like particularly as Kel points out, the game about destroying capitalist corporate structures, bad at capitalism. Yeah, it's a fair point.
I mean,
Also, hey Daisy, I'm sorry I didn't say hello when I started. Collabs are sometimes weird and hard, particularly because I also have to be aware that casters probably chatting at them.
Yes, I mean, you're very polite for the fact that you will specifically individually say to everybody who appears in your chat. I'm a rude boy. I don't do that. Although looking at the other side of things, hey, if I'm in the middle of a conversation, I'm in the middle of a conversation. But
I mean, it's
Serena
absolutely true. I don't know. I think it's one of those things where it's just, I have consistently a nice, a smaller, intimate chat of like familiar faces, so I will consistently
Hey, me too. I'm just rude. Setting that aside, Serena, in what you've been saying, Serena has mentioned about the nature of like custom art and custom cards, and the process of that, in a way, even being more expensive than having the regular single. There's a big discussion about proxies in general, but proxies for Netrunner have been pretty popular because, hey, there is no resale value for really any of these unless it's a specialized promo. Serena has made custom cards of her VTuber OC.
Yes, and of Navi, I believe.
They as partners have been very involved in that runner scene for quite a while. Gone through the process of making. It'd be cute to go make a caster card. The one that I would proxy as that is from an FFG set and is not standard legal, but so it goes. It would be for just me.
That is very understandable. Speaking of, I should pop out your chat as well so I can see what is going on over there.
Hey, we'll keep it chill here. We'll see.
Oh, absolutely. It's all going to be very.
Verona very well informed of the game as it goes. Will probably be chiming in with additional info. Only started in last year, yes, but you are directly involved with somebody who's been involved with the game for a very long time. Serena,
it's true.
So you are definitely more inside baseball than I am, at the very least.
Yeah, I mean, theoretically, I'm also inside baseball because I am nominally part of the stream team, but I will be perfectly honest, I don't do a huge amount with them at the moment because I often do not necessarily have the time.
Hey, we are already working in a way 2 jobs.
Yes,
doing
very much so.
Sometimes that's all very much upper limit.
Well, I mean, you're walking. To be honest, that segues nicely into. Did you know I encountered somebody who has the same name as you?
Oh, like first answer. Well, my operator's first name. And
No. First name the, middle name Neon, the last name Caster. Otherwise, I understand that. Otherwise, the obvious solution, the obvious result would be you are additionally moonlighting as a writer and editor of comic books.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it arrived today.
Did you picked up the copy?
I did.
Yeah.
I have a physical copy in my hands. It looks really nice and
and the filth I edited. Thank you.
I'm definitely up for buying my
pretty
friend's
good filth.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I literally opened it today and I've not had much of a chance to read it, but it looks beautiful.
It is really pretty book. I'm so proud to have the opportunity to have worked on that and to have gotten the people that we did to work on it, because part of it is also kind of like, out of the submissions that you get for the choose. But
just
yeah,
as a point of suggestion, you may want to actually explicitly say what we're talking about so you can plug your shit.
Sure. I mean, I don't know how say-so your stream is, right? So I'm kind of talking around it.
No, it's fine. Go for it. I brought it up. I think if I'm going to be objectionable about you talking about you plugging your smut on my stream, like I shouldn't have brought it up in the first place. Like that's on me.
No, not a problem. Okay, we'll do this quick. So one of my besties, Tab Kimpton, who is a comic artist dealing in largely erotic works, has been doing a number of anthologies over the last handful of years, specifically highlighting trans artists doing erotica of various kinds. Sapphic, gay, and this most recent one with Netherrealm, specifically non-binary erotica that is sci-fi themed, going out of this world and outside the bonds and bounds of gender. And I was like, hey, I'm a funny little sci-fi fella, and I have a background in kind of editing and production. I will help you go make this book, as long as I also get to have a story in it, please. And he was like, yeah, okay, absolutely. So we'd been working on that through all of last year. It's kickstarted and did very well, and now it is generally available, both physical and digital. I have a story in there about somebody going to a full sensory VR music concert with a gender maximalist AI who has broken the bounds of their own coding. And the performance is euphoric in many senses, shall we say. It is probably the most chaste story in that book.
And it doubles as casters in universe lore.
Oh God! If only I had the well sculpted body of Astral Project. But yeah, it's a good time. Strongly recommend. Go search Netherrealms comic on Google. Be able to go find it that way. It's an itch.io. Get it digitally.
Absolutely. Also, if you are inclined to play Wizard games, Caster has also been involved in collecting together a series of games and media projects about wizarding worlds that are not that wizarding world, which are available as a bundle on Twitch for a mere $69. Nice.
Yes. Let me go get the full rundown. Let me go get that full rundown for you. So there is a group, a particular creator, Critical, with a K and a Q. Won't tell you where those are. Just go find out yourself, I suppose. But they have done multiple bundles when there's been releases of video games that, in their like premise, have been particularly transphobic or isolationary in that kind of way, doing an itch.io bundle of independent artists who are queer making art in that genre. So there was previously a Be a Better Cyberpunk bundle in the lead up to Cyberpunk 2077 releasing, which I also had a work in, and that did actually quite well. And with the current release of the Wizard game, there is a Trans Witches Are Witches bundle, to which I am also involved in, not as an organizer, but one of my works are in there, alongside 56 other creators for 69 items, nice in total. People have been, unsurprisingly, incredibly normal about the idea that queer creators want to be paid for their work. But hey, because everybody is willing to go and support queer creators, y'all have paid my rent for like 2 months, so thank you.
Nice. Congrats.
I genuinely appreciate everybody who's been helping out in that kind of way. The game that I have in there, Ballad of Conjurers, is a tabletop RPG designed to kind of tell the what's the word? Adventure opera melodramas that you get in early 2000s JRPGs. Your Golden Suns, your Baton Katoses, your Skies of Arcadia. I figured that kind of like everybody is a magician of high drama, exploring the land and summoning giant elements. I think fits very well within the theme.
Phenomenal.
So if that's something you'd be digging, go check out the bundle. It's running until I think until February 24th. So you still have plenty of time.
I have just dropped a link into it in my chat, and I see you've done so in yours. Yeah, Caster literally multiclassed into entertainer and producer.
Genuinely, the line of work that I did in real life, you kind of gotta a little bit. Yeah, so it goes. Should we go run some nets?
Let's do that thing. I could absolutely happily continue this conversation all day, but no, we actually should lean into the category we are streaming in.
Yeah. What side would you like to do first, friend?
I'm open to any. I think I've often gone with corp side first, so I'll do runner side. Are you gonna start the game?
Yeah. I'll go set up as corp. There we go. It's not passworded because I think if it's.
Oh yeah, we've had that horror. Also, Kale points out that I call my chat the Gremlin Cult, and also references sorry, I pulled a slight face when you were talking about your queer and NB smut comic, but that was actually because Kale reminded me of one of the most notorious references that has happened in stream, which was a real nibble and lick bit of subject matter. Which, if you've never played one of the Slay the Spire Downfall, you get to play as the slime, and the slime licks you a lot. There's a nibble and lick card, and which is like, no, that is banned from my deck.
I think you two are the people I kept having issues playing against. If my internet plays up, you have this match? It's going to be very funny. Well, we'll see. Have the runs up in the tournament tab on Jinteki, and once you're in, I will switch over to game footage.
Yep. Where is? I don't see your game.
So if you go to play and then running along the top of the space in the middle, there's casual Angel Arena, whatever the heck that is, and tournament.
Ah, cool. Thank you. I did not know that was a thing.
Deck. Go. You've got your one going. Start the game, and I will
Yep,
start
let's jump
playing
over
Mark.
to the game. Zero's never seen a single match in Angel Arena. Also, yeah, we are the two people who Sirona had issues playing against. That is,
Mm.
we are clearly just cursed. What do we got?
Oh yeah, I am absolutely yes.
Oh
Yeah.
god, GameNet. Fucking third GameNet match in a
I
row.
I I picked GameNet because I really liked NBN as an identity in the old game, and I didn't realize it was meta in this one.
I'm not criticizing. It's just one of those things where it's like there's a few things. If you do a few things, I know exactly. I'm gonna murder it straight away. I'm gonna keep this hand.
At the very least, the way that I've built this deck is worse than what it should be. So you stand a chance. There are some critical cards that I didn't realize I was allowed to include. So this deck
Oh,
is like objectively worse than all the other decks that are running GameNet.
okay. So the fact that I mean, I was squashed by all of the other, all of the others, but we will see
Mm,
how this one goes.
we'll see how it shakes out, shall we? Yeah. I will also do my best to try and announce the moves that I make as we go.
Yep, no problem.
Right, I will start my turn and draw a card. Funny. We will start our opening turn by playing this to get to 9.
Hedge fund is classic.
Playing hedge fund again for another turning 5 credits,
Ooh.
uh, and then hmm.
So you can defend precisely one thing.
Mm-hmm. We'll see how much gambling we like to do in it.
I mean, that does seem very on brand for GameNet, to be fair.
For sure. For sure. Okay, we're going to go and ice up R&D
That
and
makes a lot of
turn.
sense. I will start my turn. Oh, it's a good gamble. My mark is indeed R&D. Um,
Mm,
that being said, I do in fact have a sure gamble.
getting your money up there.
Right.
Criminal
So,
as an archetype is very good at just ignoring ice. So the fact
yes.
that I ice the server probably does not mean that much.
It genuinely doesn't because I am for my next click I'm going to install backstitching.
Backstitching, what does that do? When your turn begins, identify your mark, as you already do. Whenever you encounter a piece of ice during a run on your mark, you may trash this resource to bypass that ice. Whoa.
Hmm. Quite so. Would you like to guess what my third action will be?
Oh, you're gonna go make a run on your third click.
I might go and do a run on R&D.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'm gonna res this anyway. I'm gonna pay 8 to res Tollbooth.
Oh, it's Tollbooth. When the runner encounters this ice, they must pay 3. So the thing is, um, despite the fact that it says when the runner encounters this ice,
You
and
can
whenever
choose to
you
bypass it
encounter,
before the encounter.
yes.
Yes.
So backstitching does completely bypass bypasses Tollbooth entirely.
But you only get to do that once. You have to trash the resource to do it.
As far as you know, yes.
Hmm. You may have recursion. We'll see.
I may indeed. Trash backstitching, bypass Tollbooth. I will
No
breach the
further action.
server.
What'd you get? What'd you get?
Oh, interesting. I mean, it's unsurprising that card's in your deck, but that's good to know.
Ooh.
Right. So that is good to know. Um,
And because you made the successful run, you get a click back.
I do
Yay!
indeed. This is one of the
Hmm.
so I really loved Sable's power set. This is the reason I chose to go with Sable because one, I like criminals as a faction anyway. I like their just a bit their I always played some flavor of criminal whenever I played back in the day. But also the fact that Sable gives you extra goes just seemed incredible.
Mm.
I really like her mark thing because it really does drill down on that classic Netrunner concept of always be running.
Hmm. The
Okay,
first things you got to learn when you play the game for yourself. I started playing with Anarch, so I was very good at face checking.
nice. Right, I'm going to draw a card.
Yes.
Uh-huh, interesting. And I am going to... You know what? I'm going to play Mutual Favor. And
Ooh.
I'm
Search
going
your
to...
stack for an icebreaker and reveal it. If you made a
Yes,
successful run this turn, you may install it.
I did.
Nice.
And I have done exactly that. So I'm going to play the... I'm going to play and install the Cleaver. Why would I have done
Ah,
that? Who could say?
it is a barrier breaker.
It is a barrier breaker.
Hmm.
Also,
Well, first,
I do not have Caster's stream open. Caster does not have my stream open. I have both chats open, but like for obvious reasons, we do not, neither of us condone any form of espionage.
yeah, if you were doing big cheating hours for this, and be like, okay, I respect that you were going all the way out to win this match. Um,
No, I'm
but
just like, I don't
with
know. It is
my
one of these things where it's like I feel like part of me is like, I mean, I could explain the reason I went for the barrier breaker instead of finding and installing the code gate breaker. Like,
Mhm.
and I'm kind of deliberately trying to make sure my chat can work that out. But yeah, I want to keep a degree of suspense.
Mm. At
Mm,
any rate, though, I will play subliminal messaging for free, which you already saw.
I
Gain
did.
1 credit and gain the click back to go do that.
Yep.
Then we're gonna go. Hmm.
Hmm.
I draw a card. Next. Okay. I will then install a card in a new remote
Uh huh.
and draw a card.
Okay. Interesting.
Yours.
I will start my turn. My mark is once again R&D. That's fine. Um, I like to draw at the start of a turn. Just it kind of puts me. I think it puts me on even footing. Um, maths. Okay, that's fine. Right now, it makes more sense for maths. Maths.
You have the money.
Do I have the money? I mean, to be honest, I don't. One of the things that I think you can get into, you can get a bit too into the fact that Sable is run your mark. It's like an extra turn
Mhm.
is great, but also like, am I just wasting the money? When
Yeah, I'm
honestly,
just going broke to prove a point.
yeah, exactly. When honestly, I could just run
Mhm.
HQ.
Yeah, you absolutely can do that. I have no further actions. What do you find?
Ugh, filth,
Hmm.
filth upon which I can take no action. Also, let's quickly run on server one because information gathering is big and clever.
Okay. In response to that, I'm going to pay nothing to go res Spin Doctor and draw 2 cards.
That makes sense.
No further actions.
I will absolutely trash that because honestly, Spin Doctor is whilst super useful. Like it's more useful if you have the ability to remove the asset from the game because
Mhm.
that is genuinely a thing. When I was facing Bjorn, it was what I
Mm.
was like I just he left archives completely empty, bunch of face down cards. I was like, okay, running archives, in fact, no, yeah, he was pretty well defended. Got through, and then he was like, okay, I'm gonna res Spin Doctor and trash Spin Doctor immediately. It was very satisfying. It's like, yeah, you had, I
Your
forced you.
Agentis in there to go
Yeah,
in there. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he was kind of
Graveyard recursion
keeping
to
them
keep it
safe in
powerful.
there, just to be on the
Yeah.
just for the crack. And you know
No,
what?
just
You probably could have guessed that this was in my hand at the end from the end of last turn, but I will put Cat's Cradle into play.
That's Cradle.
My
Ooh,
turn.
thing. I start my turn and draw one card. Sure. Uh, we're going to. Hmm. Install into a new remote.
Uh huh.
Uh, I will play Predictive Planogram and gain 3 credits.
Uh huh. That makes sense.
Hmm. And I'm going to go and pay 1 credit to continue to ice up R&D. End turn.
Okay, I'm going to start my turn. My mark is HQ. So honestly,
Oh.
that's just a free bonus turn.
Hmm.
In fact, I'm going to draw first. Ooh, that's kind of fun. Not something I'm going to do right now, but I will quickly run HQ. Reach the
Okay, no
server.
further action. Find.
Oh, I find the remastered edition, which I will steal.
Nice.
So I've still got 3 things.
You do still have 3
You are not getting your subliminal messaging back, so I think I'm going to draw. Oh ho. And then I'll just spend 2 turns gaining credit. My
Okay.
turn.
At the end of your turn, I pay 2 to res pad campaign.
Oh yeah, I probably should have checked that, but I mean, to be fair, I couldn't have got rid of it anyway.
Mhm. I am going. For my start of my turn, I draw a card. I will then spend my first click to draw another card. Hmm.
Not sure if it was you or not, but there was a huge buffering period and you had to refresh the stream. Oh, I'm sorry about that, buddy. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this damned like this is like YouTube sometimes drops for a little bit, but I'm like a full third of my frames are being dropped on Twitch.
Oh, at
Yeah,
the very least, there is a different version of this footage going simultaneously, so you're not
very
losing
true.
too. I install a piece of ice in front of server 2.
Mm-hmm.
I have 1 click left, which gain a credit. I end my turn.
Okay, I start my turn. Also, Sirona, ow, that hits me in the that hurts me in the soul. Loxley can't take another loss. He's got to get a win before the tournament ends.
I mean, that is a rude thing to say. How callous,
Directly in
but
my
still.
soul.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. No filter.
um. Okay, we're gonna gain a credit. Pop out the bug. There we go. Okay, I was wondering why that was not going in.
Galta. Break sentries. You have your full breaker suite.
I started the game with Cat's Cradle and Bugelta.
So you
That's
just
what
only needed to tutor for Cleaver. I see.
just need the cleaver. It was just
Mhm.
too damned easy. Um, right. Quickly do a run on HQ because if you're not going to
Sure.
defend it, I will absolutely
No
go
further
and
actions, baby.
oh cheeky. But hey, I know it's there. Oh, gain a credit. Play overclock. Run
Ooh, very
HQ.
good. There is no guarantee you will pull
There
the same
isn't.
card.
But do you know
But
what?
hey,
If I do,
that
this
would
is
be
fucking
very
like
funny.
that. You being on the back foot for this would be delightful. I will breach
Oh
the
yeah,
server.
no, I'm already losing. Hey, no further actions. Do you get it?
Ah, damn. No, government subsidy again. But you know what? It was worth the risk. 1 in 4
Worth
chance,
this?
worth the risk. Like, if
All
I'd
right,
known, I
start
could have
turn.
done it the other way round, but eh. It's
Oh,
tactical. I know it's
hmm,
there. You now either have to put it out, in which case I know I have to get some credits before I start running again. But you know what? That's fine because again, I
yeah.
don't now need to spend credits to put anything in put too much in play. I can focus
Mhm.
on full on war chest.
Mm. Anyway, I'm gonna go gain a credit,
Good
and now
call.
that I'm at 10, I'm gonna play government subsidy to turn that into 15,
Yep.
and then I'm going to go in and stall a card over server 2.
Okay.
I wonder what that one is. In turn.
Oh, okay. So that's that. Sorry, you were replacing in server 2. I
Yep.
because of how it looked
All
briefly, I
over.
thought it
Yeah.
was just
Oh
an
yeah.
upgrade.
It hovers for a while, and
Yeah.
then
Okay.
if
I'm gonna draw a
depending
card.
on the state of it, it will.
Okay. My mark is R&D. Not gonna run on that. Um, if I don't do any runs, I might as well do that. Yeah, run on HQ just to
Mm-hmm. No further
just
actions.
just kind of sake.
Mhm.
This is actual cyberbullying. Fine, gain credit, end
Uh-huh.
turn,
Hey, you could have had the econ. Sorry you
hellfire.
didn't.
Huh? I could have had the econ,
Could have had the econ.
but you know what? I
Oh,
do not have you. You're not getting subliminal messaging back. I'm gonna make sure that's the case.
this is fine. We are going to
It's cyberbullying, but is it deserved? No, it's just unfortunate that I don't have the money to engage in theft.
install into server 2.
Oh,
We're gonna play government subsidy, bringing me up to 20.
uh-huh.
I advance. And 10.
Okay, I'm gonna start. My mark is archives, so I'm actually going to run on archives because I'd like to see what that server is.
No further actions.
I don't have the money to engage in theft is a perfect summation of economics under capitalism. Okay, daily quest. Unfortunately, that does not count, which is a shame. But what do?
Already in the archives, so it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it would be nice if that was the case, but such is the
Hey,
way.
if I gained money from you encountering that in the archives, that would be godlike.
Hey, if I gain money, you'd be in trouble.
Mm-mm-mm.
Okay, I'm gonna gain a credit. You know what? We're early game. Gain a credit. Your gamble.
Okay, makes sense. Start 10. Hmm. Fine. We are going to advance this.
Mm-hmm.
And then install a new piece of ice in front of you. Enter.
Hmm. Suspicious. Suspicious.
Oh.
So, if anybody doesn't understand the shell game of Netrunner, I'm going to give a quick overview as to the two possibilities that the Neon Caster is engaging in right at this moment. The first is that they have elected to um, advance an agenda twice, which potentially means it costs five to score, and thus they wouldn't have been able to fully score it this turn, which is why they chose to defend it a bit more, or it's a fucking trap.
And hey, the one that deals damage to you with 3 advancement counters on it.
Yep, there's definitely those do exist. There are traps that you can advance, and the more the
Walk
more
into
credits
it,
are
it
on
goes
them.
boo, and then you have a heart attack.
Yep, pretty much. Right, I'm going to start by drawing.
Mhm.
My mark is R&D.
Mm.
I'm going to draw again. Hmm. Is it worth? You know what? I'm going to run on HQ.
Hell yeah.
Let's see what's in there.
Further actions, friend.
Drago Ivanov.
Mm.
Two hosted advancement counters. Give the runner one tag. Use this ability only during your turn. So that is definitely a potential threat that could be hanging out in server 2. It's not hanging out in server 1 anymore. So, you know what? Let's see what that other card is.
I tend to find out that the moments where you ask, is it worth it, are the best ones to make a run, because sometimes it's just very funny.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to see what the other one is too. No problem. No further actions.
Oh, Sansan City Grid. Each agenda in the root of this server gets -1 advancement requirement. Oh, that's foul. Go
Very
away.
expensive to remove, though.
Very
All right.
expensive to remove,
End
but
those 5
entirely worth
credits.
it.
No
I do
problem.
not want you to have an easier time. Like, you have the
Sure.
money to install that. It is definitely worth me not letting you have that. Also,
Mhm.
if you get one draw a turn, so you have the money to potentially score server 2 if that's the case, but
Mhm.
it does mean I have a lot more access to your headquarters, and I know potentially that you don't have a huge amount of ice coming out.
Hmm.
So
Just
I
playing hell, baby. 0 cards in hand and a dream.
uh-huh.
I start my turn and automatically draw a card. That's funny. I'm going to go and install. I'm going to advance this twice, scoring it,
That is
gaining
absolutely
me an
fine.
additional 5 credits upon it being scored,
Hmm.
and
But
I'm
like
going to
that's
put a new,
pocket change at this point.
and I'm going to put a new piece of ice back in that server.
Nice.
Let's go. 0 cards and a dream.
I'm going to draw a card.
Mm-hmm.
My mark is archives.
Ooh.
Getting any credit. I've not run yet, have I?
You have not.
Draw a card, gain credit. Okay, I'll quickly run on archives just because.
Sure, get that additional clip back. Why not?
Yeah, I like having a successful run in hand. And
Mhm.
then, you know what? Let's go and have a shufty. What's in server 2?
Tread
And just
lightly. Run any server. During that run, the res cost of each piece of ice is increased by 3. Ooh.
I mean, it's not like it's a drop in the ocean for you, but like, you know what?
Mhm, mhm.
I'm happy to just drain some of that bank account.
Yeah, this is a very interesting thing that you're suggesting, and I'm gonna have a think about what I want to do.
Mhm.
Mm. Continue to movement.
I approach the ice.
You can continue to approach that ice, baby.
Oh, okay, which means this was trash, but
And I'm not going to res that, so you can continue to movement.
cool, I breached the server.
All right, no further actions.
Fucking damn it!
You realize that I have cards that you have a minimum spend requirement, and I've watched you just dance around 5 and do the run under 5, and I was like, okay.
It's
If
a
you had
fair
more than
point.
5 in hand, I would have done something about it, but otherwise.
It's a fair point. But you know what? I know it's there.
You
I
know
know
it's
it's
there.
there. I know it takes you more than one. Well, there are ways you could do it in one turn, but
Mhm.
not with an empty hand.
Not with an empty hand.
Because even if you had like successful launch, that is
That's pretty expensive, and it
it's
wouldn't close the game out for me, so there's no point using it now.
yeah. Cool. I'm gonna get any credit. A turn.
Sure. Um, right, I start my turn and draw a card. Uh-huh.
Hmm.
I am going to go and advance this 3 times in my turn.
Makes sense. Start a turn. Gonna draw a card. My mark is R&D. Like, there's a degree to which I'm. Yeah, can't believe Castor is role playing as NBN and making me unable to afford anything at all.
Hey, you do it to yourself. I
It's
actually haven't
true.
taxed much money from you. You've not really been encountering the pieces of ice that tax you money.
It's very
So,
true.
yeah.
Draw again.
Ooh, big hand.
But you know what? Good hand.
Oh, what do we have here? Recurring credits. You can spend hosted credits on runs on central servers. Makes sense.
Uh huh. Quickly do maths. I don't
Running
think I
last
can.
click is very dangerous, but I believe in you.
It is, but honestly, I kind of want to see what's in your HQ.
Okay. No further actions.
Oh, I'll steal that.
Yeah, absolutely. You also gain 1 tag.
I do, and that's a shame. But honestly, you can do a lot with that.
And
But
because he ran last click, you can't do anything about it right
it's true. It's true. Should have read early. Oh well. End turn, and I will drop. Drop that.
Start turn, I draw a card.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun. I advance this twice and scoring it. I install over HQ. End turn.
I will start my turn. My mark is archives. I'm going to use the first
Mm,
turn to draw. Good to know. I'm going to remove that tag.
wow.
Uh, Gain a credit. And gain a credit.
Hmm.
End turn, and I'll stop that.
I will start turn and draw a card.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's funny. Because you didn't make a run, I add subliminal messaging to my hand
Oh,
and
yeah,
immediately
true.
use it again. So no pressure, but after a quick look at the standings, if Carter wins both matches, then they're going to shoot up to fourth. Serona and Lucian into joint fifth. I mean, that's a bold, that's a bold suggestion of the events to come. To be honest with
Yeah, I
you,
mean, we're both kind of
um,
in a situation where we're conceivably able to get to a good get to a victory condition.
mm, mm, mm. I drew twice, and for my last click, I'm going to install in front of HQ, and I end my turn.
Okay, I'm going to start my turn. My mark is archives. I am going to draw. Oh, fantastic. I'm going to pay 2 credits to play Dirty Laundry on archives.
Okay,
For each
enjoy your
server,
5 free money.
I absolutely will. And a free click. So basically, that costs nothing to do.
Mm.
I'm also going to play Dailycasts.
Aha! The drip economy enters the fray.
Indeed, I'm going to draw a card. I'm going to gain a credit. And I will end my turn.
Reasonable. I start my turn and draw a card.
I don't like that you just did a villain laugh.
Apparently I know my deck well enough where I look at a card that I don't recognize the effect of, and it's like, oh, it does that. That's silly. I go and play hedge fund and gain some money. Then I draw a card.
I mean, literally, what's the point? It's you've gone from 19 to 23. Congrats.
Hey, I have a lot of ice I could potentially res here. I draw a card. If you decide to make some big plays and start running some servers, I need to have the cash on hand. End turn.
Okay. I start my turn. I get 5 credits.
Hmm.
My mark is HQ. Would do.
Hey.
Well, first, I feel I should draw.
Hmm.
Then I should absolutely play Dirty Laundry on your archives again.
Absolutely. Gain that money.
Get paid. Um. Oh,
Oh,
it's on.
machinations. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Bring it.
Virtuoso. Run.
All right.
Oh, wait, hang on. Is this?
The first time each
Ow.
turn, you make a
Oh, I
successful
should have.
run on your mark. If that server is HQ, access an additional card when you
Should have done it
breach
the
it.
other way around. Should have done it the other way around.
Oh, do you want to take that back?
Uh. Yeah. Honestly, I should have.
Oh,
Sorry.
sorry. Do you mean that you mean to play like Virtuoso then Dirty Laundry?
Yeah, I should have. I no no well, no. I should have done that. That's what I should have
Right.
done. I chose not to.
Right,
It
right,
was a
right. Rather than it being a misclick kind of deal.
yeah. It was not a misclick. It was just a. It was just something I'm realizing after the fact.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um. Okay. Let's draw again. Enter.
That's and then you net the money. All right, start turn, draw a card.
Run with the money.
Yeah, just go off world.
Quite simple.
Um, we're going to install that into server 2 and
Hail. Shh.
advance it
Make me look
twice.
bad.
All right, let's party.
Okay, Mark is HQ. I get 2 credits. I draw a card. Uh, there's nothing stopping me from having 2 of those. I mean, sure, why not?
Mm.
Seems, polite thing to do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Gotta have
Uh,
that additional econ for usage and stuff like that. It's a shame it's not a stealth source. That would be really good.
what does that do?
Oh, so there are some stealth cards in current Netrunner, but there was an archetype of stealth where it was like, oh, you could spend 1 credit to raise the power of this by 1, or you could spend 1 credit from a stealth source to raise the power by 3.
Ah, okay.
That kind of thing. And then there's a whole bunch of cards that are specifically stealth sources. That are useful in broad situations, but also for that specific type of lock picking. Ooh, good, juicy.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite runner ID was a runner source that had a recurring stealth credit on her.
Okay. I'm going to try this and run on my Mark, which is
Jailbreak.
HQ.
Okay. Run HQ and ID. If successful, draw 1 card. And when you breach the attack server, access 1 additional card. All right. Let's res Bran 1.0.
Ram 1.0.
It has you can choose to lose 1 click to break a subroutine on the ice.
I can indeed.
Um, it has 3 things. You may install 1 piece of ice from HQ or archives directly inward from this ice, ignoring all costs, and
Mhm.
2 instances of end the run.
It is a barrier, so Cleaver will cut through it.
If you
Um,
can get it to the right power level.
it's true. Let me see. So it will cost 8 to match and fully break, which is unfortunate. Uh,
You can do that with your 2 coffee pots.
I
You have
can,
just
but then
enough
I
money to
can't
do it.
really do much inwards. Kind of depends
Of
what's in there, though, of course.
course.
And there is likely a third Belladonna, or Bellona, even.
I keep mispronouncing it too. What a name.
Like Belladonna, just I don't know. I don't know.
It would make sense, right? Belladonna feels like I don't know what a Bologna is. Is that
Yeah,
anything?
that is that a thing? Thing is, it costs.
Oh, lost connection to the server. No, we're back. God,
Oh, give me
I was
1 second.
sweating.
I need to take a 30-second walk just to fix something, and then I'm gonna come back and decide.
Yeah. In the meantime, hi chat. I hope you're enjoying the running of these ads. Well, Loxley isn't listening. This particular archetype of deck that I'm playing is very much centered around the idea of Bologna being a really powerful card. For those who don't know, it says as an additional cost to steal this agenda, the runner may pay 5. This is my this agenda I have 3 of in my deck, meaning that I can consolidate the number of agenda cards that I need to have in the deck down to these and a handful of extras. And these cannot be stolen if the runner is poor. So there's lots of cards, like for example, this one that makes the runner lose money, or this one that makes the runner lose money, where if I can quite literally nickel and dime the runner into getting inside the server so they don't have enough money to get to the Bologna and steal it, and they go, oh no. So you can kind of put the runner, if you're careful, into, or if you're lucky, to be honest with you, if you're lucky, into unwinnable situations where you can score out a Bologna to win the game. And they can try and steal it, but it's unlikely they will have the money to be able to steal it, is those kind of circumstances that makes this deck work. And if all else fails and they do manage to steal a Bologna, there is this card. This card, which I will not read aloud. Um, Actually, it's not going to matter, so I will mention it. Punitive Counter Strike. If I get to successfully use this card, although it costs me a lot of money to do so, does big damage.
Anyway.
Hello, I hear that you're back.
Yes, thank you very much for your patience. So I basically get to choose by exactly which manner I get to choose the manner of my execution is my takeaway from this.
Hmm.
You
Well,
know
you
what?
can choose to, under current circumstances. Oh, you're gonna break it off.
No,
Fine, no problem.
you kick me out. It's fine.
All right.
I have more information than I
Um,
previously did.
choose an ice to install from archives or HQ. What do I want? I will install this one.
Uh-huh. And I will gain a credit. End my turn.
All right. I start my turn and draw a card. I will advance this card twice and score it, winning me the game.
GG.
GG. Off-world office being the kind of like cheap version of Bologna, slightly.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
I
The 5 cost on Bologna is a mean son
just
of a gun. Mean mamma jamma.
unfortunately my economy just was not coming out as well.
God.
Particularly like things like
Yeah.
Carpe Diem, which just get me 4. I did not see that at all. Class Act, I didn't get. That would have been really useful. I thought I was like, oh, actually, I'm doing really. I'm in a really good position
Mm.
for my damned my with all of my
Break a suite out,
icebreakers out,
things like that.
and it was
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
nothing.
An interesting thing about the icebreakers that you chose
Hmm.
is that they all they power up in a kind of 1-to-1 format in like, one
Yeah,
credit gives it 1 power, but they all start at 1 power as well, which
yeah, it's
is
very true.
it's finding those cards because there's a handful of cards like Ice Carver that whenever you install ice, they're just stronger,
Yeah,
or effects that lower the power of it. Yeah, I think it's working in tandem with those that get it
and
to
I
be.
do have, and again, I do have an ice carver in my deck. It just never appeared. Unfortunately,
Mm,
I think that deck relies far too much on
getting the break
Class
suite
Act.
out. Yeah.
Like Class Act is a super useful card in that deck.
But if you don't find it or it doesn't fire in time, it doesn't go
Absolutely.
away. At any rate, I have remade the room. So if you pop back into the tournament tab, you'll be able to join that game.
Join. I will select my time and money deck.
I will select blending in a Kit Peddler deck. All right, let's go.
Okay. What have we got?
Mm.
Okay.
What a hand.
Oh, like this. Yeah, I'll keep this. Absolutely gonna keep that.
It's a mirror morph, huh? If the first, second, and third actions you take on your turn are different from each other, the third completes, you gain 1 credit or take another different action, paying 1 click to do so.
Indeed.
This opening hand is very interesting, but it's slow.
Hmm.
Uh, Mulligan.
Oh, okay. Start the game, start my turn, and draw
All
a
right, yep.
card.
Hmm.
I'm going to lead with Hedge Fund.
Okay.
I'm also going to quickly turn the music on because I realized I have a button that's set to mute Spotify when I switch to my Let's Play screen, which I know why I did that, but it's also not a good plan because it did
If it
mean
doesn't have
that
the automatic go back again when you turn the other side, yeah.
yeah, and also it turns Spotify on when I go back to just chatting. So then I was only when I suddenly was getting music, it's like, oh, that's so yeah, I did not notice it until it was very much defined by its absence.
Mm.
I'm also going to install this in front. Yeah, I'm going to install this in front of HQ and install this in front of
No
and
problem.
then my turn.
We'll start my turn. I will play daily costs.
Oh, it's a good card.
I will play DZM's The Optimizer, which you might not have seen. It gives me +1 memory for programs. The first program you install each turn costs 1 less to install.
Oh, that's nippy. That's quick.
I will gain a credit, and then I will play Creative Commission, turning that 1 credit into 5.
Nice. Okay, I'll start my turn. I'll draw a card. Um. I'm going to draw a card. That happens to be hedge fund, so I'm going to
Right.
use that.
Got
And then
yourself
you
some
install
nice
this
resin money.
in a new remote. And I'm going to choose to gain the click. Reason for that, I'm going to res this card, and I'm going to use my final click to gain 2 more credits.
Matrix. Click. Gain 2 credits. Turn. When the runner trashes this asset, they also gain it.
Yep.
Yes, I do have a second capture for the card currently being. Just to make it a little easier to read what's on screen. There's a lot of tiny text.
I would have a look at your capture, but I feel that would be counter to the point.
You're good. Don't worry about it.
I will end my turn.
Start turn. Let's see.
Honestly, I'm not going to change my setup at this late in the tournament anyway. But
oh, for sure. I feel you. You know what I'm gonna do?
What you gonna do?
I'm gonna run first click and face check R&D.
Oh. Okay, sure. I'll res drafter.
What does this do? Considering what is in your archives, I don't care. Let this fly. Oh, I continue to. There we go.
Okay, and fire and broken subroutines.
What?
Sure. And I will install. You know what? I will install this. Well, I'll install this in front of R&D. Quite useful next time.
Interesting. Continue to movement.
Uh.
Oh, interesting. Did that push me back a step? It shouldn't. Should it?
No, it hasn't, because you have.
Okay. Yeah, you also just have to continue.
Sorry, I thought I briefly lost connection to the server, so I think I was concerned that you disconnecting from the server had.
Oh no.
It's
no.
You are thinking of a different card.
Yeah, I have encountered that, and then A2 to trash it. Go away.
Oh, Spin Doctor.
I'm going to go and draw a card.
Hmm?
I'm going to play Diesel and draw 3 cards.
Nice.
I'm going to install another daily costs enter.
Okay, start my turn. Okay. Gonna pop that in front of HQ. Gonna play that. Gonna
Hedge fund.
draw a card. And I'm just gonna, you know what, I'll gain a credit, and I will use Nano Etching Matrix again.
Gaining 4
You
for
know
my
what?
daily costs.
We're starting off slow, but I've got a war chest.
Yeah. You're building up the money. I'm gonna diesel and draw 3 cards.
Also, I'm pretty sure you're using a very similar deck to Bjorn, and
We're both playing Shaper, but I think the way that Bjorn uses kit is different from what this deck
well,
specifically. This deck is goofy.
Bjorn announced very, very smugly that his deck has one trick, but it's a good trick, and it was a very good trick.
Oh, that's fun. We are going to install Parisha. Parisha says I have 2 recurring credits. I can just spend those hosted credits to pay trash costs of assets.
Oh, nice.
We are going to go and run on server 1.
Mm-hmm.
We'll
No
breach that
further
server,
actions.
and I will take 1 credit from that. Crash.
I will gain 2 credits.
Sure thing. Let me see. What do I want to do for my last click? We are going to go and install for my last click professional contacts. For a click, I can gain 1 credit and draw 1 card.
Nice, very good efficiency. I like that. It's
very
expensive.
expensive to install, but yeah, once it gets
Ongoing
going,
benefits. How's it going? Well, I'm down. I am 3 for 3 in losses against that bloody GameNet Center.
You didn't have to put up with Gold Farmer in my deck, though.
I
'cause
didn't.
I don't have any Gold Farmers, and that card is actively disgusting. It is banned apparently in Standard, but not in Startup, which is my mistake. I misread.
Okay, I will install this in a new remote. I will install this right in front of it. And I will draw a card. I will end my turn.
Start my turn. I will gain 4 credits for my 2 daily costs. We are going to install a boomerang targeting this piece of ice.
Oh.
We'll see how lucky I am. We're going to make a run on server 2.
I will definitely. I'll res it. Why not? Might as well make you use it.
Does only have two subroutines on it, so that's good.
It's true.
I will encounter that ice and use it to break those subroutines.
Yep. Use movement. No further actions.
Server. Ooh, thank you very much. The Architect Deployment Test. When you score this agenda, you may look at the top 5 cards of R&D. Oh, I see. No, thank you. And because I did a successful run, it goes to the stack again.
Oh.
We're going to use professional contacts to go and gain a credit and draw a card. And then for my last click, I will play Creative Commission, gaining 5 money.
I will start my turn. I draw a card. I'm going to install this in front of server 2. I'm going to draw a card. And yeah, I will play my final one of these, and I will gain a credit.
Big money.
Mm-hmm. Well, if I've got the time to set up a bit of fortress, then
Yeah,
might
no, I
as
feel
well.
you.
You're giving me a lot. I'm not feeling overly pressured yet, so. But then it is deeply notable that that you have yet to get an icebreaker out. I feel like I'm probably going to be a little bit more concerned when that happens.
Oh, maybe I'm not too worried about the process of that. So we clicked professional contacts to gain a credit and draw a card. We are gonna go. Oh no, we're going again. Gain a credit, draw a card. Okay, fair enough.
Grass pile is looking mighty lovely, but I know there's not currently anything that would get Asta in, as far as I'm aware. I'm aware that was there. Don't worry.
We are going to play Egret. Egret is hosted on a piece of ice. It says that the hosted thing gains all three types of barrier, code gate, and sentry.
Yep.
And then I'm going to gain a credit and draw a card. Oh, heck yeah. And 10.
I'm going to start my turn. I draw a card. To install this in server 2. I'm going to draw a card. Advance this. Gain a credit. Good turn.
Start turn.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to spend the first click to install telework contract, which I can click for money.
Ah, there's that money.
Cementing the econ now, so I have options later on,
Yep, absolutely. Makes perfect sense.
Right. Let's stop being silly.
Are you getting a little silly with it?
I'm going to pay 1 credit to install Chameleon.
Okay.
When Chameleon hits the let's read Chameleon out loud together. When we install this program, choose Barrier, Code Gate, or Sentry. When your discard phase ends, add this program back to your hand. When I interact with the piece of ice, I can spend 1 credit to make run subroutine on the piece of ice that matches the chosen subtype.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to say Code Gate.
That would make a lot of sense.
I'm going to go and make a run on R&D.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to res Bran.
Ooh, Bran is strong.
Bran's strong.
Mm-hmm. Fortunately, though, because I did not run last click, I can use that click to mean you don't get to install something.
That's true.
So I'm going to encounter that ice. I will spend a click to break 1 subroutine. That is all.
Mm-hmm.
And I will let the remaining subroutine fire.
Thank you very much for coming. Have a nice day.
Bran is a very strong card.
Bran's strong.
And with that, I'm going to end my turn, and Chameleon goes back to my hand.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to start my turn. I draw a card.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to use Seamless Launch in Server 2.
Ooh.
I'm going to advance it and score it, which is that same one you already got.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I think I might install. Considering you just said you mentioned the strength, might stick Bran in there. And I will install this in a new remote. And I will gain a credit.
Okay, no problem. We're going to spend our first click gaining 3 credits from telework contract.
Mm-hmm.
We're then going to use professional contracts to gain a credit and draw a card.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Third to install the daily casts, and then fourth to go run on server 3. What is it?
No further actions.
Base. Ah, expensive to trash. I see.
Expensive trash.
Don't worry though, we do have Prisha where I can spend 2 of the credits on that to trash out.
It's true.
End turn.
Not mine. I will install this in server 2. I will draw a card. I will advance this card, and I will gain credits.
Have your iron wall handy.
I've got a pretty good wall.
Gain a credit and draw a card.
I feel like Bran is I feel like just having a Bran in hand.
Bran is really, really scary.
Well, considering I did notice, if I'm not mistaken, Chameleon didn't really have a super obvious way to boost itself.
I have ways around that. But
Oh,
yes.
I figured that would be the case, but it's just it's not inherently. Oh yeah, Ice Carver at least will bring it down a little.
Ice Carver.
Sure.
This card is incredible.
How do you mean?
There's a card in my hand that I thought was really good, but then the way the card is worded means the card is not actually that.
Oh, fair enough. Sorry, I thought you
like,
you were talking specifically about Ice Carver.
No, I was murmuring to myself. Ice Carver is perfectly fine.
Ice Carver is great.
Simple.
I think it's just it's just unfortunate from your perspective that you cannot have more than one in play.
Oh yeah, there are other ways to do the thing it needs to do. But
oh
yeah,
sure, which is what the little diamond is for. If anybody is specifically interested,
for it to be unique.
Indeed, it can only
you're
not unique in the deck. You can have more than one in the deck, but it is unique in play.
Yes, and I'm gonna go trash. You get to score whatever's in that server too.
Indeed. You know what? I will do this.
Okay.
Score it.
When you score this agenda, gain 3 clicks. You cannot score any more agenda. But hey, you now have 5 clicks to do stuff.
I do have 5 clicks. It's quite nice. I will then play red level clearance. I will draw 2 cards. I will install a non-agenda from my hand. And that will be vote. I'm going to res that immediately. That click. I'm going to install this in front of server 4. Install this in front of archives. And you know what? I'm going to install this in server.
Okay. And while that is, may already have a game. See.
It's true. It's possible.
Getting a credit draw card. Okay.
That was a good turn.
I'm
Everything
going
just
to-
clicked.
Yeah, no, that came together very.
No,
very
I'm just repeating Bjorn's bad jokes.
We're going to go and install a boomerang.
Yep.
Targeting Bram 1.0.
Yeah. Okay. So you're going into. Okay. So you're targeting my archives.
That's your R&D. Although, thanks for telling me that there's another brand there, I guess.
I'm sure if that's the interpretation. If you, I mean, you can certainly interpret that I would put a brand in front of my completely open archives if you would like.
Hey, you know, I don't know what you want to do with your life. We're going to go and call this a.
Yeah. Can I ask, what is necessarily the point of putting egret on Drafter if Riel each time, the first time you encounter something on R&D, it will become code gate anyway?
No. The first time you encounter a piece of ice, the first one, no more, only the first, it gains code gate for the remainder.
Oh, right, I understand. Gotcha.
So for efficiency's sake, I can make that code gate and this code gate and be guaranteed to break it every time.
Right, I got you.
I can walk. The kind of like it becomes a, because the game is going to be soon, so I can talk about it, I suppose.
Yeah.
It becomes a game of how many chameleons I have available, whether I have alternate breakers that handle code gates, so else using boomerang to be able to skip things, yada yada. Yada.
Sure. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Anyway,
thank you. I appreciate that clarity.
That's all right. This deck is really cool and it's very silly. However, this deck archetype was designed before Bran 1.0 was a card. And I think Bran does it some problems.
It does appear to have caused you some issues.
It's the fact that its strength is super high as well. If the strength was any lower, it wouldn't be so bad.
Yeah.
But,
I'm not going to particularly feel a huge amount of sympathy for the fact that you can't get through one of my ice cards.
Oh, for sure. I'm going to use Boomerang to break the 2 and the runs.
Okay.
And let the remaining subroutines fire. See what that last card in your hand is, I guess. It could be something in your archives. No, those are all operations. So it's either what's in your hand or nothing.
Yeah, I cannot do anything.
Okay.
That
Good
perspective.
I will continue to movement.
Yeah, continue movement.
I will approach that ice.
You can approach the ice.
I will.
Before you do anything, I am going to res this magnet in front of archives.
Uninstalled program. Oh. That's really, really specific tech. Interesting that you have that.
I mean, to be honest, it's also just because it's a fairly inexpensive end the run. And also, it's like immediate. You can pretty much walk through it immediately with Chameleon, but obviously, it's more just, you know, it potentially lets me do something from add something from archives to my hand or install something immediately.
Yeah, no, that is it is a fun combat trick. I will encounter that ice, although I can now no longer break those subroutines.
Yeah.
I will just have to let those fire. I do get in on the other side of it, but
I also already know that says I can only res ice when the runner is approaching it, not during any time. I'm pretty sure I'm not convinced. I feel like resing.
I mean,
you can
surely it would complain if you fuck the timing.
I
And
agree, but also
at the end,
like
at the end of it,
that's if you could only res at certain situations, that would mean for things like pad campaign where you res it at the end of the runner's turn.
Oh, there is specific timings on when you can res things. I just assumed that the game would stop you if you tried to.
I mean, I think you might be thinking a little bit too highly of Jinteki.
It's no big deal. I'm happy for that to kind of have fired as it was, and I'll put up because the side thing of this is that I guess you get an operation back to your hand, but you can't install anything new.
Res can only be resed when the runner approached it during the run. Okay, that is absolutely fair. I apologize. I also apologize to Bjorn because I made that mistake in our game.
So you wouldn't be allowed to res ice like that if I wasn't about to encounter it, or unless there was some other card that says res a piece of ice immediately.
Yes, ice can only be resed when the runner approached it during a run.
Right. So that needs to go back, I guess. How do we
if you just do undo click,
you would have to do that, I think.
No, because it's your click you're running on.
Oh, right.
Izzy Stardust, thank you very much for letting us know that.
Did that not do that? Did that not take? It's undo hyphen click, I see.
Yes, it is. Apologies.
No. I should remember I've had to do this a hand. Okay. Cool.
Okay. Well, for the purposes, we will ignore the fact that you now know a magnet's there, but it's the archives. There's not anything particularly interesting happening there.
Sure. So
everything else can largely happen as it did.
Make the run on R&D. We're going to encounter that ice.
Counter the ice.
Who even knows what that top card is, I guess. We're going to... Whoops. Oh, no, we do that. We get rid of those two end the runs, let the Unbroken fire.
Continues movement. Oh, sorry, fire Unbroken submachines. I can't install anything because everything's in operation.
I will approach that ice.
Yep, approach the ice. Continue to encounter.
We are going to fully break drafter for credits. Cheap!
Yeah, but like, to be honest, it's more just something to To be perfectly honest, drafter is just something to deter you from early game from running an RNG.
Oh yeah, there's a big early game route. But we'll breach that server and hope it's... it's super not. Yeah. No, I remember that card. Yeah. Okay. And 10. And Chameleon goes back to my hand.
Well done.
And
turn.
This may be the game closer, depending on server.
Right. I will start advancing this. Turn.
I will gain a credit and draw a card. I mean, it's the side effect of having a single piece of hardware.
It's true.
Very unlucky. So it goes. Yeah, I don't... Although, hey, you know, let's be fun and flirty here. I'm gonna go install Chameleon.
Yep.
In Code Game. I'm gonna go make a run.
Oh, okay.
Genuinely nothing I can do this turn to score the turn, but I want to see that.
That's fair. Change movement on that one.
Okay. I will approach the second piece of ice.
That one I will res.
Ah, it's a barrier.
Well, it is, but doesn't it count as code gate because it's the first ice you encounter?
Yes, it should. Yeah, I
It's
guess
kind
so.
of academic anyway because you can't.
Yes, no, and now it has automatically been instilled with CodeGate.
Yeah.
It's unfortunately strength 4. If I had any other program, if I had any other icebreakers out, there's actually another like resource or hardware that boosts the install. When you install a piece of ice, it's like strength goes up by
Oh,
1 or
no.
2, and I just didn't draw it. I just didn't draw it the entire game.
Oh,
Chameleon would have
Caster.
been able to just walk through these things.
Oh, Caster, I don't think you understand the problem that potentially just caused you.
Hmm?
Well, are you letting me
Oh,
fire the
I
broken subroutines?
I have to. That's fine.
Okay. So I fire unbroken subroutines. I choose a
Mhm.
program that's not a coder, fractor, or killer.
Yeah, and Chameleon isn't one, so it goes
No.
away.
Yep.
And that's fine. I have like another Chameleon in my
Oh,
hand.
sure. But it's just
But like, yeah,
I
yeah.
had that hadn't occurred to me. Like I was thinking, okay, great,
It counts.
I get to get rid of your Parisha. And it's like, oh
Mm.
no, I just get to kill the chameleon.
Yeah. It's specifically there as an anti AI like breaker card, but it also deals with Chameleon. Bum 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 bum. I'm just gonna go gain a credit and draw a card and end my turn. GG.
It's actually not, because this is advance. I score it.
Oh, it's 6. Gross.
It is yeah. That being said, I will install this in server 2, and I will advance it once, and I will get my turn.
All right.
It could be
I
anyone's
have-
game. Also,
Could be
Bjorn,
anyone's game.
that
Don't
is, I was
patronize me for it.
genuinely looking for that same joke, so thank you, Caster, if I may. Killer, 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 killer chameleon.
Old school.
Hell yeah. Actually, wait, no, wasn't that? No, God, he's an awful human being. Is he an awful human being?
Maybe I genuinely do. Do you score out next turn?
I do score out next turn.
I concede.
GG.
GG, you won one.
I did. Also, holy shit! That just not only did I win one, that is the first win this entire league of this corp deck. I genuinely was worried I was going to get through this entire thing without getting a win off Megamorph. Megamorph? Mirrormorph.
Mirrormorph, yeah. Oh
Yeah.
no, the deck fully makes sense. But yeah, it is. You know how I mentioned before in terms of like I was building decks that didn't really pay attention to the fact that there are new cards available. I found out, I think, the day before decks locked in. I was like, oh, let me go look at the cards in the new set that just released before in these. Like, oh, endurance is really good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Endurance
This deck,
this
entire deck's concept is built with no knowledge of any of the cards that I would likely run into.
That is very fair. Well,
So
you know what?
I was like,
I believe you're still ahead of the curve on me for the whole thing.
Oh, sure. It is what it is. I'm glad that the majority of the NBN deck worked.
Yeah,
even
that
without the
NBN
knowledge
deck
of the
I
new
have,
cards that
like,
were available. But
that absolutely that every single time that NBN game net deck has shut me down.
as I say, it can be built more efficiently than the one that I'm running, but it is
I
apparently
mean, it doesn't need to be.
better.
It doesn't need to be more. It only needs to be as efficient as it needs to be to win, and it won. So Ultimately,
Yeah, no, we take those. We take those.
yeah.
GG. Netrunner Games.
Would you like to know about any of the cards that are on my side of the table?
Oh, I think I had the general rundown of what, or at least the important things that are running out. When I was making that run on your hand,
Mm-hmm.
did you have that agenda? Was that agenda that you scored out the one that you pulled that turn?
No, that was so in my hand I had a Ravana, which is just an
The
extra
one that I
piece of.
found at the top of your deck. Yeah.
Oh yeah, then
Nice.
it would be yes. And I had the Architect deployment test, which is why I chose to res Hagen. I specifically chose not to res Magnets, purely because I knew your Chameleon could get through it.
Mm.
And Hagen, I thought, had a bit more of a chance to freeze you out.
Yeah, no. Once you got the lock pretty solidly in terms of like, I don't think I can sensibly count to 6 unless I get very lucky with some cards that I pull that get me there.
I think
There is a circumstance where you can get Chameleon to break 6 strength barrier, 6 strength ice, but it work.
Oh, I'm sure there is, but I'm kind of glad. Yeah, from a personal standpoint, I'm kind of glad you didn't find it.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, the other card here was Eli. If you're interested, it
Yeah.
was
I know Eli.
it was not gonna do anything against Chameleon. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how that went overall.
Yeah. One each, and now I
Yeah, one
only have
apiece.
one more to do. I have to
Today,
go
the
play
corpse
Hallie, I guess.
win, which is kind of the unfortunate take-home message.
Hey, so it goes. So it goes.
So it goes.
You have already played Hallie. They're based in the US, yeah.
Hallie.
Yeah.
Hallie is based in the US, yes.
All right. Okay. We'll see. See what we. I think.
I hope you manage to. Hallie's a lot of fun to play against. She will destroy you, but that is just how the world we live in.
Oh God, there are multiple instances. Like Netrunner specifically has a lot of instances where some decks just entirely turn off other ones in a way that I have genuinely not seen in any other versus card game. There are just some matchups that are unwinnable. I remember relatively early on going to like a local game day, and I was playing. To my credit, or to be fair, the deck that I was playing was very bad. It was a Kaiser themed deck. That was like one of the early runners. Reina Roja is like chess themed.
Oh
All
yeah.
her break install themselves on top of pieces of ice to do things.
Okay, yeah.
And there is I think Wayland Consortium ID called Sun. It's quite expensive, but it basically has a gimmick where you can just return a piece of ice to your hand by paying not very much money. Now, when a piece of ice goes back to your hand, anything installed on it just gets discarded. It doesn't go back to anyone else's hand.
Right,
So
gotcha.
I placed a breaker. I ended my turn. They returned that piece of ice to their hand, and that piece of ice went to my graveyard. That breaker went to my graveyard. And I looked at that, like, oh, there was genuinely nothing I can do to get in on your serve. It is impossible for me to win. I just scoop. This is a waste of both of our time to try and play through the situation.
Oh man.
So I fully believe that, but I mean, Hallie may have built their decks in a way where they're specifically non-meta, like their rogue builds. But I wouldn't be surprised if those decks are built in the idea of turning off what NBN is supposed to do.
I suspect so.
You'll be very familiar with that.
I'm trying to remember what Hallie. In fact, I'm going to look at Hallie's deck list
That's
right
true.
now.
The deck lists are posted on board, although I would have to have a working knowledge of what the cards do.
I have played against Hallie, and I'm trying to remember. Are you talking about is this Corp or for?
I mean, I
Oh no.
don't think my runner deck is not especially efficient, so I don't think I'm going to be running winning that against somebody who actually runs a fight ship. But unless I get very very lucky and get fucking boat turn one. But other than that, so it's mostly whether my inefficient stand up to penetration testing.
I mean,
I
that's going to
don't,
be an interesting one to find out. I'm pretty
I don't
sure.
see the list. Discord.
Oh, it's definitely there. At least it's let me
Oh no, I got it. I was looking for a different profile picture.
that would make sense. Yeah, I think it was the
okay.
chisel that destroyed me. I think chisel specifically is like
What
it
is
just
it?
melts any form of ice, if I recall correctly.
Run the DB. What does do? Tell me in that. From downfall. Install only on a piece of ice. Host ice gains -1 strength for each toasted virus counter. When you encounter host ice, if its strength is 0 or less, trash it. Otherwise, place 1 point. Oh, okay. So you keep running into the same piece of ice repeatedly, and then eventually it gets weak before it breaks.
Yeah, I think there's a few other things that particularly just broke me, but I think, I mean, unsurprisingly, I think it was, yeah, I feel like it was Hallie made just the most evil decks.
Well, when you have that good understanding of the cards available, you get to do fun and silly
Oh,
things.
absolutely. Hallie is absolutely amazing competitor. I wish her all the luck. I do not feel she needs that much.
No, I do believe she is currently willing with a notable lead, so I think she'll be fine.
I can actually tell
Okay.
you. Bear with me 1 second.
Yeah, they're currently in the lead with 33, and Navi's behind on 30. So the gap isn't huge.
It's
but I
yeah,
can't
it's
remember whether they're
impossible to overcome,
basically
but
if Hallie is both games and Navi wins both games, Navi wins. Otherwise, they would draw on a 1-1. But yeah. But
and
hey,
everyone else is kind of fighting for third place.
sure. With that all done, we're wrapped up. We did all the bits and pieces we needed to.
We are. Thank you very much for taking time out of your day as just the ultimate VTubing mogul.
I'm
To
sure there are people who finished their runs with more econ, but you did end up in a pretty lucrative.
oh, I'm not even talking about Netrunner. I just mean your life in general.
Oh gosh, mogul of what? Goodness me! But I
Well,
will
I mean,
take.
you're what?
Thank you very much.
You're what? Editor, producer,
Yeah,
writer,
you
actor.
gotta have those strings to the bow. You gotta have those.
You
I
you
know,
are
that you
you are a
hustle just as hard.
verifiable Renaissance envy.
But no, we got to keep working. We got to keep hustling. I don't have any other streams coming up. So on Saturday, oh, there's a mutual friend of ours, Captain Hurricane, the fastest video game hedgehog. Yes, even faster than that one. Is having their. This is how I introduce them every time now. It's having their birthday week set of streams, and it's like,
Oh, nice.
a good 4. So there's probably, I think there's one already on today, but there's also ones on Friday and one on Saturday. They will be doing a tabletop RPG stream with me, Sheila Ornthalis, and Farmer Gada, playing Sheila's new game, which is essentially, let me go and get the proper name of Proto Drive. It uses the core of Lancer, which is but instead of mechs, it's finely tuned cars, and you do like initial D style races with nice crunchy mechanics for drifting around corners.
Oh, that does sound very cool.
It is, I believe, the first recorded playtest of the
Ooh.
game, which is very exciting. Love demonstrating new. I am going to be playing a stay-at-home husband who, when their husband is away on business, hits the streets in their coffee-themed drift machine. Um,
Oh,
look forward to that.
I'm not sure
At like
if
a,
that's adorable or sweet or just slightly irresponsible. Um,
Oh, I like the idea of, like, there's the archetype of the gentleman thief, and this character is like the gentleman drifter. Is the gentleman speedster is the idea. But yeah,
oh,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
great.
If folks are around on a Saturday, I don't know if you're streaming on the Saturday night. Honestly.
I thank you for that segue. I will be streaming on Saturday night.
Oh,
I have been over the last month and a bit playing through Marvel's Midnight Suns, which is very,
yes.
as somebody who specializes in card games and board games, I don't tend to get to play major AAA releases. So this is kind of as close as you can get. It is
Mhm.
kind of cross between Slay the Spire, Fire Emblem, Three Houses, and XCOM, which works
Mhm.
surprisingly well.
Game works. Game genuinely good.
It's
Kind of built like butt cheeks, but game very good. Very,
Oh
very
yeah, absolutely. I believe I have 2 missions left, and so yeah, I will probably be finishing it this Saturday. I live in hope that I get to kick Tony Stark off the roof of something.
good. I'm
Like,
I'm really behind. I had a period of time where I was playing it super regularly. Got a good 50 hours in, and
mhm.
it's a longer game than I expected. Actually, I wasn't expecting it to be
Yeah,
shorter.
it
Um,
is, but I maintain that it's I mean this to be honest, that's kind of why I'm glad I got to play it on stream, because it's like
mm,
actually I do kind of have time carved out to stream to play the game, and I've
sure,
had a
sure.
really nice time playing it.
Mm,
But yeah,
yeah.
I do think in this era where Elon Musk buys Twitter, um, having Tony Stark be an irredeemable dumbass
It fits.
is the characterization we all deserve.
I think they knew what they were writing. But yeah, I haven't played it for a while, and unfortunately, the current update makes it more prone to crashing for me. Where it wasn't crashing at all, it crashed me twice in one session. So now I have to
That happened to
start
me.
doing
I think
big
they've
safety saves every time I do a mission now, which is fine. I just
mm,
need to remember that I need to do that. But it
that's
has
fair.
made my progress much slower.
I think they may have reworked that update if I recall correctly, because I had that where it was basically unplayable for a day the day Deadpool released. Um, and so I was just like, okay, I'm gonna go do something else. Found a really good mech themed like BattleTech almost
Oh yeah,
version
yeah,
of a roguelike deck builder. Played a demo of that. Really looking forward to that getting a full release. Um, but yeah, next time I came to play it, it was working perfectly again. So it might be worth checking it out, because I think they realized, oh, the update we just released breaks everything. We should
yeah.
probably fix it.
It kind of ran interestingly before, but yeah, that period of time was definitely rough. But I need to go back to Windows. Even though
Yeah.
it's, I mean, I'm glad to have a single video game that is just for me.
Mm. No, absolutely makes sense.
Yeah. Game is good.
Mm.
Go play or go watch game if you.
Yeah.
But now
Heaven
it is.
knows game needs it, because apparently it has not sold well.
Hey, I
Like
mean, it's also
critical
the kind of game
darling,
that does not,
but it
it's
is
definitely a
it
game that
it's
does not need a sequel. So it's happy to sit in it. The people who enjoyed it are the people.
that's very true. But yeah, also worth pointing out, I do not regularly stream on Twitch. Currently, I am just streaming my Netrunner over here on Twitch. I chose to move to YouTube, and honestly, I stand by that decision. I really enjoy YouTube, so if you would like to go check me out, please do go to youtube.com/@Satyrstrategy.
Mm.
I've also posted that link in my own streams chat. Um, But yeah, we're on the march to 100 subscribers on YouTube. We'll be finishing off. We will be finishing off Marvel's Midnight Suns this Saturday, and then some point in the next week. I'm not entirely sure yet. I need to kind of do a bit more planning. But I will be celebrating 2 years of streaming as Loxley.
Hey!
So I am going to have like a little bit of a chatting stream where I set some goals, talk about my successes, and generally discuss the state of the Sata.
Good vibes.
Absolutely.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
What am I doing next week? I genuinely don't even know. We finished our Pokemon Scarlet Violet Soul Link Nuzlocke between me and Rafi. Delightful time.
Nice.
I enjoyed it immensely. But now we're done. We're like, well, what do we do on our Thursdays? I genuinely have no clue. We did a week of Crime Site, which is essentially a digital board game designed by Konami. It is very good, but it's also a live service that nobody played, so they're shutting the servers down in like May.
I have only heard of
to not give it a story mode.
I've only heard of Crime Site from Jimquisition.
Yeah. It's genuinely a very good game and like properly fun to play, proper energy. But it needed either a story mode or LAN so it could keep operating aside from it being a live service thing.
Right.
But Konami only know how to make like pachinko machines and lie. So they did not think it through.
They are the worst.
So
Fortunately, I don't play live services, and they've never released and they've not released many card games, so fuck them.
Shoot, we're genuinely in the market. If there are, there's a 2-player mode and a 4-player mode. I'm going to shut up. I'm going to end the stream very soon. Bear with me.
Yeah, absolutely.
The 2-player mode and the 4-player mode. We've done the 2-player mode on stream. I wouldn't mind trying to do the 4-player mode on stream just to have it there for posterity. A lot of the people who have already streamed it also don't know how the rules of the board game work, and so they're a bit of a. So I'd like to kind of get that on camera just to say, yeah, the game existed and it was fun. Goodbye forever. So I don't know if you know 2 people who want to go and buy a video game genuinely to go play it once before.
I was gonna say, like, if it was free to play, I'd be like, okay, yeah, we can. I can jam with that.
Shit. If you know yourself and one other person that would want to play it on stream on a Thursday in the future. I could absolutely do that. I would love to. You know what? Like £7. I'd gift it to you. No worries.
£7. Actually, you know what? For £7, for the sake of having a degree of history, the opportunity to
lost
make
media. They'll do YouTube videos about this. Remember Crime Site? we go and speak to the 3 people who played this video game to see if it really
Wait, so there's only a 2-player or a 3 or a 4-player? There's no like 3-player option?
No. I guess you would like have an AI random because it's a kind of a
that would be awful.
Game, so it wouldn't work.
That would be deeply terrible. that would not be good.
Yeah. I'll put out a gosh darn casting call to see who's around to go and do the last one. But for now,
I mean, I hate to.
Bed, it's school night.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much for taking part and hanging out. It is as always a pleasure to speak to my fellow rider of the table, Topocalypse. I've no idea how you pronounce that. With joking VTuber unit we talked about and never.
It's still in my head. I actually want to talk to you about that, but we can talk about it off stream.
Oh, interesting. Okay, that was me. Okay, apparently things are happening in the background.
It's a thing that we've joked about, but also,
it's not a bad idea.
Artist collectives are fun. You just, there are bits and pieces about it that are like, I might take this seriously one day. Just not well.
Absolutely.
I'm screaming.
Well, on that slightly, maybe something's going to happen in the future, which we actually didn't, which happened completely naturally and we didn't plan. No one will believe this if they see it now because I've just said that. thank you so much for joining me, and thank you to everyone who's been watching. It's been an absolute pleasure streaming for you this evening.
For sure, for sure. If you didn't already know, I have been your androgynous AI game show host from the future faster. Who you been?
And I have been Loxley, Sailor of Strategy, the Caprine Card Shark, the Board Game Goat, and I hope to see you next time.
Hits
Ta-ra.
off, everyone. See ya!